Okay, we have a green box, we have a live counter ticking up, so we should now be live, which of course means welcome back to the Storytime Network. It is Sunday, it is D&D day, and we inch ever closer to that pyramid.
Slowly but surely.
My name ain't Shirley, but okay.
Who says they're talking about you? God, not everything's about you. Gosh.
That quote's been tainted by the fucking intro clip that Regal shows before movies, where it's like a bunch of the people going into the theater and they're like just quoting movies at each other, because some of them are beyond cringeworthy.
That's don't really care for it too much either way.
Well, you know what I care for?
Dungeons and/or Dragons.
Maybe. Perhaps.
I care for D's.
Yeah?
Not dignifying that.
So, last we left our heroes, Aldane, the currently sick in real life paladin.
Yeah.
Dairon, just Dairon today. Felix, also just Felix. And this Ken is a Seamus.
My Kenergy is at maximum.
He is Knuff for the moment.
The four of you, along with Tarim, continued through the deserts of Santosk. Along your way, you all had a lovely moment as you saw into what's presumably currently going on in Blackrain, as they were plotting to maneuver people through to Siltanok and intercept you guys from retrieving the Dracolich piece. You also got to see Layla, Anemone, and Testament all dealing and having to tolerate with their insufferable dad, who is just the worst. And yeah, after that, you continued along and had to deal with a very big, very dangerous, and very nasty Dracolich. Not the Dracolich, thankfully, but just another Dracolich. Because, you know, there's not just one. You were doing exceptionally well, actually. It got to the point where it was about half its max HP before it decided to rage quit the fight and just use its breath weapon.
Coward.
Yes, how dare he? Well, he was already halfway underground as well. You know, that was already been a...
Honestly, though, I call that a win for us.
Yeah? You didn't lose. It's not about you winning, it's about them losing. But yes, you survived the fight after Oryx came down and dive bombed the shit out of that undead abomination. Afterwards, he actually asked you where Rua was, because he knew, you know, you were all together. And upon finding out, he went off to dealing with the purple worm. The elder elf that can turn into a dragon flew away in a rush, leaving you on your lonesomes.
We were probably a little blasé about that.
Probably, but, you know, what can you do?
Blase, blase.
Places.
So, I assume you've got back into the carriage, yes?
Yes.
You haven't had the opportunity to rest yet, though. But you should be able to get a short rest on the way.
Cool.
I mean, you can only hope. Which
If we're doing a short rest, I gotta do my Song of Rest roll.
Which
I
reminds me,
think-
before we do any rest rolls, I want Gen to give me a D100.
Okay.
And another Dracolich.
2 Dracoliches.
This one is a
Okay,
blue...
it's in the middle. It's in the middle this time.
This one's a bluer Dracolich.
1. Ah, 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 ah. 2. Ah, ah,
I,
ah.
I will use the soundboard to express myself.
I've got some soundboard noises in one of my Discords. Unfortunately, I can't play them because I don't have the
Nitro.
the true Nitro. I just have the basic one. Anyway, so as you are getting on the carriage, in the distance, you look over to the pyramid, and you see another red beam emits from the very tip of the pyramid. When that happens, however, your weapons, or cloak in Felix's case, begins to tremble. You aren't sure what's really going on. Maybe it's just because of how close you are in proximity, as you are about a day's travel now from it.
How strong is the trembling? Is Felix
Very.
getting a back or shoulder massage from it?
Yes, but it also, don't forget, you channel that through the wings of the Dracolich, so you feel your shoulder blades also tremble. Like, you can, for you, Felix, you can actually feel your shoulder blades in your body. That's how it feels. And, you know, same for Seamus having
My
weird...
brain trembles.
I'm just imagining Seamus is like the Akira, leave me alone! Ah! Dairon, of course, feels the... I mean, Dairon's had it for the longest, so they've continued to feel the weirdness through their eyes, and Aldane through his limbs.
Yeah, at this point, it feels like Dairon's just accepted that this is part of it now. It doesn't even faze them anymore.
It's like when you have that itch internally and you can't reach it because it's inside your body.
Yes.
At least for Dairon, they can rub their eyes, but, like, still not great. So, as
Felix is
you-
just taking the weirdness in stride and just enjoying the shoulder massage.
the shoulder massage, where you can also feel the insides of his shoulder blades.
Like I said, he's accepting the weirdness as it comes.
Do you need a back massage, Felix?
No, I think the shoulders are fine for now.
Sounds good.
How's your eye massage?
It's been nearly a year at this point. I think I've just gotten used to it, honestly.
Well,
Hopefully,
as
hopefully
you-
the next Dracolich weapon we get is for the feet, so we can, you know, get one last massage area in.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Well, well, as you are on the carts, as they do another driver shift at this point, you notice they're changing the drivers a bit more frequently. If only just because you're starting to get into more dangerous territory, and they'd rather the drivers be as physically fit as possible.
Yeah.
In fact, it gets to the
Certified
point where
fresh.
it gets to the point where now a couple of the cart pushers are actually people you met on like the very first push. But as you get on, you all sit down and you are starting at least a long rest, short rest even, not long. It's very early in the day for that. Words.
Work
So-
hard.
As you make your way along, do any of you want to keep a watch out at this point?
Dairon will.
I forget, because how much damage did any of you take? 'Cause I know Aldane...
I didn't
And-
take any.
Felix didn't take anything because of their what's it called?
Polymorph.
The polymorph.
Polymorph.
I also didn't, apparently.
I
Hmm.
think
Because the one,
yeah, I think
the
you
one
evaded
attack
most
against
of
me
it.
was. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you
one
had to-
attack was a dex save, and I did evasion.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I think Seamus got hit with 2 lightning bolts.
Seamus got his ass beat.
Yeah. They're beating
Right.
his ass in the
I need
quote
to heal.
retweets.
So if Darren, if you want to keep a lookout, you can give me a perception check.
So does that mean we're doing a long rest
No,
this
sure.
way or a short rest still? Okay.
Short rest. It's very early in the day.
So
20.
should I do my song of rest roll then?
Yes.
Yeah. So with a soft 20, natural 12, you are keeping an eye out. You don't really see very much, as at this point you're seeing the pyramid quite well. You know, it's there's just it's almost disturbing just the lack of enemies right now. Because you know you've been having enemies thrown at you a lot on this journey, and it's always one of them. Whenever there's no enemies, you know, probably not good.
Mm.
I don't like this.
I wonder if he was actually able to, you know, set many enemies in the vicinity of that Dracolich. I get the feeling
mean?
it was, you know, unhappy with everything rather than just us specifically.
Dracoliches are usually intelligent. Turim jumps in. So, and especially because blue dragons are usually above black dragons on the hierarchy of power.
What's
So
the
the only
exact hierarchy of dragon power again? I don't call chromatic dragons.
Good question, Aldane. As if anyone wants to give me an Arcana check, who's proficient in it?
That would be me. Come on.
It's
Arcana.
Yeah, Turim knows this. I'm not making Turim seem inconsistent.
Seamus, are you gonna roll?
Sure.
Fairly sure you're proficient in Arcana as well.
Semi.
So you all know this, you both. In terms of chromatic dragons, which are the evil dragons, the order normally goes from white being the weakest, but that's still an ancient dragon. Then black. Then it is green. Then blue. And then red being the strongest of the chromatic dragons.
not shocked by that.
Which means there's an entire extra color of dragon in terms of between, you know, the Dracolich you just fought, which is a blue one, and the black Dracolich that you have basically been dealing with this whole time. But you do, at least for you, Felix, because of your role, you know the difference isn't like massively like impactful. There's
I
an
mean, it's an
argument.
ancient dragon either way, so.
There's an argument to be made that the weaker dragon has to be more cunning, or, in a way, you know, has had to do something to be bringing a blue one potentially under its subjugation.
Mm.
You do know, though, as well, Felix, blue dragons are particularly vain and prideful.
Mm.
versus a black dragon, which is a lot more cruel and brutal.
Mm. Maybe the reason that blue Dracolich was so pissed off was it was really upset that we saw it in such a state.
I mean,
Perhaps.
usually Dracoliches are willing. I mean, that's usually the case with Lichdom anyway, is it's typically a willing thing to happen. Otherwise, the only thing with a Dracolich is that they could be summoned from dead bones of a dragon. At least that's what Akira told me when he had to deal with one. He was saying how him and the wildcards thwarted one from appearing because the necromantic group was attempting to resurrect it, and also with Lich abilities.
Do you think the Mummy Lord is strong enough to have raised a Dracolich?
Maybe a Mummy Lord that's empowered by a Black Dracolich. I mean, who've been the vessels of Dracoliches? A human child, right?
Yeah.
An ancient white dragon. A Lafarid, I believe it was, right?
Yep.
Mindslayer?
We didn't really ask for
dragon's-
its name when we killed it. It was a very quick battle.
A dragon turtle. And now
That was not
a...
battle.
And now, currently, we're dealing with an old, already dead, like, magic user with great power.
Mummy Lord.
The only thing
Great
I can
power.
think of is that the power that the Dracolich piece grants is in relation to how magically gifted a user is. Which is probably why Flora and the ancient white dragon weren't very impactful of changes, I guess you could say.
Oh,
Or,
great.
or at least not that strong, I should say, in the grand scheme of things. Also, white dragons are typically more animalistic and feral. So the fact that you had probably one of the only intelligent, I guess you could say, white dragons was already, you know, it's
Deal.
I suppose the next question is, do we think that creating the Dracolich may have weakened the Mummy Lord somewhat? How much power could it have taken?
I mean, this is a being that has shields to absorb magical energy.
Right, so probably not as much of a difference as we would have liked.
Unless we find information, you know, from like books or records of who this person was, I'm not very sure to know how strong this person was before they died. From what I can gather and what I have found of information, they were born into an era where magic was a lot more commonplace amongst its people to begin with. And typically older wizards are usually more powerful than more recent ones.
That makes sense.
Mostly by virtue of being in more conditions where they're encouraged to become stronger. Despite everything, we are kind of in more of a peaceful time than ever before.
That also makes sense.
The moment Black Rain becomes liberated, we only have to deal with these the humans that are, you know, trying to revive or use rather a Tarask. And once they're done, there's effectively very little that would actually get in the way of us making a peaceful world.
For some reason, I doubt
Peaceful
that, but...
continent. There's always going to be more, but...
Of course, but there's nothing right now that we know of that's particularly dangerous. Outside of independent forces that very likely don't have the resources or ability to really challenge anyone right now.
unfortunate. Is what it is, I suppose.
From what I remember of my time during the War of Humans, a lot of the groups that could have done something, like any orc camps, goblin camps, were heavily subjugated, if not just wiped out entirely. That's why we don't really see goblin camps anymore. A lot of the ones that were alive were effectively enslaved and thus given, in a twisted sense, an education and forced to be in civilizations.
Gross.
I'm gonna say I haven't seen much in the way of goblins outside of a couple cities.
Case in point. It's only because orcs generally have the sheer power and usually rely more on the natural surroundings that they probably lasted as long as they have. After all, there's no point in going to Frostfang Mountains just to deal with some orcs when you can just leave them alone.
Or even trying to search the forest in the northern part of Cordis.
That I'm genuinely surprised about, because they're quite open, and honestly, the humans could have easily burnt down the forest and the land.
Maybe they were scared off by the chief's fearsome war beast.
Ah, yes, very true.
We should go visit. I missed that war beast. I need to give it some spoils of war. Yes.
Scooby snacks?
We need to give it some tribute so that it knows that it's respected.
Yes.
And,
Also,
we'll get to see Prody as well.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, honestly. Somewhere, you just smash cut to the Bloodbite War camp. I feel like someone just dissed me.
Yeah, Prody's like, what the fuck? Why do I
Sneezes.
feel like I'm being devalued?
No, this is how it would really be, is Prody's like, I feel like I'm slightly less ignored than usual right now.
He's not ignored, he's just not in focus right now.
I think one of the things I'm gonna do is just make a trip up to the camp at some point.
But yes, so,
Anyway,
as you can...
I feel like we should just assume that the Mummy Lord is as strong as ever and go from that point. Now, if it happens to be slightly weaker after summoning a Dracolich, then all the better for us, but...
We should still respect its capabilities.
Yeah.
We shouldn't assume anything.
We're going to be fighting a Bone Claw regardless, as by this point it would have already regenerated.
I'd be shocked if it didn't, honestly.
Well, to be fair, it also reforms back in the presence of its master, and we're getting closer to its master.
Speaking of bone claws, where's Rua?
I feel like he would resent that.
Do you think
He
he'd
hasn't been in
resent me
contact
asking
with-
who was going to get ruined next?
He hasn't been in contact back again, though, right?
No.
Nope.
I'm starting to share Oryx's concern now.
But Oryx is on his way after him, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Even still. Like,
The worst
should have heard
part.
about it.
The worst part is we don't have access or abilities to use high-level cleric magic.
We also can't scry.
It's just one of those. The strongest cleric we know is like Torrent, and that's because he happens to be an adventurer.
Until he took that arrow to the knee.
Well, but that's the point, though, is that if we need access to high-level healing or regeneration or resurrection, we'll have to do a lot to find someone. Because as it stands right now, we'd probably know someone already who's that level of power.
Most likely.
Right? You know, as it stands with our line of work currently, anyone who's strong, we probably already know who they are.
Mm.
It's
Oh,
an ever shrinking pool of people at our tier.
I mean, I'm surprised at how quick you guys caught up to me in terms of strength.
Wasn't easy.
Pleasantly surprised, though. It's good to know there's more people who we can rely on to protect this world.
Turns out fighting a lot of Dracolich pieces really motivates you to keep getting stronger.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's something to be said
Reno.
about gaining strength for experience. Fighting different creatures, fighting different, stronger enemies. I know that's why Akira doesn't actually like to get involved in a lot of these fights. Because he doesn't want to take the opportunity for you guys to grow.
Also, he's retired. He deserves a retirement.
Also, I don't think there's any fight, any opponent really that can challenge him enough for him to worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, from what he said, he probably won't be bothered. He probably wouldn't struggle against an ancient black dragon.
What about the Tarask?
I asked him that. Well, Oryx and I did when we were helping with Rua's arm, and he definitely did say he wouldn't be able to take it on his own.
Right.
Not without
Great.
him nearly being dead, or the surroundings of wherever they fight being completely uninhabitable
Right.
for a long
So
time.
he'd be constrained from going all out.
I mean, that's why he generally tends to fight on his own nowadays anyway, is because he won't hurt people in the crossfire.
Hmm.
Doesn't want collateral damage. God,
I mean, you've seen the kind of abilities that he can throw out for fun.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's hard using maximum level cones of cold when your friends will also get caught in the attacks.
Yeah, probably not fun.
But that's for another time. For now, we need to focus on this Mummy Lord.
Hmm.
And if we can't beat the Mummy Lord, we won't be able to beat the Dracoliches, the rest of the pieces, I mean. And we won't be able to beat the Emperor of Black Rain.
The true Emperor of Black Rain.
So,
And,
does that mean we get to do our hit dice roll now?
I'm going to say you continue to talk, and during this point, yeah, Gen rolled well enough that there wasn't a combat encounter.
Yay!
Woot woot!
Shit.
Whoops.
Oh, nice.
That
nice.
is very up and down.
Hmm.
The duality of man.
So, damn, how much do you need?
I needed that much, and I'm still not back at full health.
Damn!
You got your ass kicked. Dang.
Yeah, I got absolutely flumbasted.
Flambe, you mean?
You should have a
Who
few more
knows?
hit dice. Like 3 more.
I do, but I'm not going to use them.
Alright.
I'm close enough to full health now.
It's always good
I'm
to
at-
have that extra hit point, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Seamus is going to get hit with like an attack where if he actually had 2 more hit points higher, he would have lived.
The
Nah.
amount
That
of
would be so
the amount of
sad.
times that we magic pixel, we have an enemy left on death's door, is too high, or we're left on death's door.
Mm.
The number is too damn high.
Rest.
Not to mention,
So-
you're the squishiest of us, so...
Yeah,
Which really says
Doesn't
something...
Seamus actually have a fair amount of
I-
HP?
I'm actually the squishiest. Turin puts up a hand.
That's fair.
I don't have armor for one.
You don't?
I'm a wizard. Wizards don't have armor. It inhibits our ability to cast spells.
that
They
seems
are-
like a dumb rule.
I mean, they are correct.
It's not really a matter of rule, it's a matter of like actually casting magic. For us wizards, we devote our efforts to being able to maintain spells and be able to do them at their maximum potential ability. Not to be rude, it's just none of you are like fully dedicated magic users in that regard. Because we also have to recite spells from pure memory. Not again, it's everyone casts magic differently. It's just for Felix's case, he's able to use his magic through painting as a medium. You know, for you, Seamus, you're able to use music as a medium. You're not having to necessarily remember the like complex incantations or the methods used to bring the spell about.
Oh, thank God for that.
Wizards as a whole are actively manipulating reality in that regard. Like, normal people aren't meant to be able to shoot lightning bolts from their hands. That's kind of the whole thing with wizards and sorcerers. They basically crack the code of reality.
What's a code?
I'll have to explain that afterwards. It's a turn of phrase. And so, as you continue to talk and, you know, have your fun chats with the with each other, you see a stop of the cart. And by the way, you've traveled for like probably at this point like maybe an hour or two.
Oh god,
And
what is it now? Is there like a Tarask head sticking up out of the sand?
That might be better.
Oh no.
Fuck
How
me.
is that? How is what is out there?
Is it a purple worm?
As you look out, you see leagues and leagues of the undead.
Fuck me.
You get to a point where you're seeing over 100,
Is there any
and
chance
they're all
there's...
swarming around the pyramid.
Do you think there's any chance they're on strike and, you know, we're gonna be able to cross their picket lines just by asking?
Don't cross the picket line. Don't be a scab.
I'm not being a scab. I'm not going to work as a zombie, as a mummy, but, you know, it's...
As
We
long
say
as you
we're,
don't cut-
if we say we're
as long as
going
you don't
in to
cut- as long as you
negotiate,
don't cut down their trees
Yeah.
against city permission, to only get fined $250.
if they're on
Tree
strike,
law failed us.
if they're on strike, we can go in and say, you know, we're going to negotiate with the Mummy Lord for them. But if they're actually, you know, working, then that, you know, they won't take kindly to that, will they? I don't know if the mummies have a union.
Are we gonna? Are we actually gonna?
Have any of the mummies so far expressed intelligence?
That one Mummy Lord did.
But that's a
That's-
mummy lord.
That's the thing. Mummy lords in general are more intelligent. Mummies are just mindless zombies, no different from just regular ones. The only difference is mummies can curse, zombies infect.
So they probably aren't smart enough to have a union. Got it.
No.
Mhm.
So, what do we do then? This, seems like a problem that's gonna have to be dealt with.
Well, one of the cart pushes says the whole point was that if it came to this, we would just be rushing through. People would be behind us, ready to help take over if any of us have to stop. And the point is, we just get you through. And if need be, you have to dismount and make the run. And we'll provide cover fire. Literally.
Right. That seems a little sacrificey.
If we... Well, that's the thing. If we die to have to secure you guys to get in, that was the point. If you wonder why there's only as few of us as there were, that's because we were the people who accepted this. Most of us have nothing to lose, and that's why we're here.
Mm.
So that the people who have stuff to lose don't have to do this.
Still, let's make that maybe what? Plan C? Do we have a plan B?
What options do you have then?
Hmm.
Also, here's the music mill. New music. Turim does say if we can, I mean, one of us could always cast Polymorph to be a T-Rex and the rest of us ride them. And then if it, the person who's turned into the T-Rex falls, one of us then casts it then. To then, to take turns. Although I can only cast Polymorph one more time today. What about you, Seamus?
What about me? I don't know.
You said they're not very intelligent, right?
Yes.
Could we, I don't know, set some kind of explosion off in the other direction? Maybe lure them away?
But the cart is highly visible. So not all of them are going to be distracted.
If only Polymorph worked on inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any illusion magic, really, so I can't do much to disguise us.
Right.
I mean, I have Phantom Steed, but I'd need to sleep to be able to cast that. And that only works with me, and then one other person could really get on.
Yeah. Look, I'm just trying to come up with a way that, results in as few as deaths as possible. There just doesn't seem to be that many options.
For some reason, there doesn't usually seem to be many options.
Nope.
Darren, Aldane, do you have any options? Any ideas?
We're dealing with all these undead? I don't think so.
Unless we can try to sneak past, I doubt it.
We do have... Don't you have Pass Without Trace, Dyron?
I don't.
I
Pass
do.
Without Trace. Pass
Right.
Without Trace can help us sneak, but we're out in the open.
It's not really anything we could use to hide.
Do you think we could use like a loud noise to lure them away from us?
That's what I was
So
saying,
some-
but apparently it's still not going to do enough.
I mean, Turim
Besides,
says
I can
there's-
only
there's-
cast Shatter for so far.
The thing is, there's hundreds of them, and we're out in the open.
Hmm. Is there like
Guess we
another
just gotta
entrance?
fight through all of them.
I would rather not. That would be too much.
At this point, we're gonna be running on fumes by the time we get there.
Yeah.
One of the cart drivers adds, well, that's the point of the carts, is that you guys can just be safe in here and we make the push. We actually, and they point to the Griffin Riders, we actually have several, like, tanks of oil that we can dump on the mummies and then have them be burnt from a distance.
What if we dump the oil on a section that's away from our path, have them lit on fire, and you would think the mummies would congregate around where the disturbance is to attack whoever did so. So we could try to use the
mummies
Griffin
are
Riders as
averse to fire.
Well, what I'm saying is we could try to use the Griffin Riders as a diversion. If they think that that's the true assault, maybe we can sneak through undetected.
You're putting too much emphasis on their intelligence, I think.
Yeah. Here's a thought: if we
Especially
use
if
the
they
oil,
can't reach the Griffins.
if
Hmm.
do we have an explosive arrow?
Some of us do have arrows. Yes.
Maybe what we can do is, while most of the Griffin Riders fly overhead, drop oil, I can shoot explosive arrows to light the flame, so to speak, and we rendezvous past the horde.
Hmm.
Does that not work, or
I, as a
I
GM,
am-
am just thinking. I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. It's just if any of the mummies aren't all following, though.
well, the idea is that we'd shoot them, and like the horde would just would through a matter of contact and your closeness catch fire from one another.
I mean, the zombies wouldn't necessarily, the mummies even wouldn't necessarily touch each other, though, would they?
No, but they'd be close enough to catch each other, especially if they're all doused in oil.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
it'd certainly make it easier for Terminites start firebolting them. They're already.
I mean,
covered
I
in
still
oil.
have 3 casts of Lightning Bolt. 4 if I use it at a higher level. And Lightning Bolt travels at 100 feet in a line, which could potentially catch tens of zombies at a time. Mummies, whatever. They're all zombified, whatever.
So, the plan is, I go with the Griffin Riders, start dousing oil, shooting fire arrows. Felix and Turum support with fire bolts and thunderbolts.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's another option.
Aldane, what spells do you have ready?
Let's see. Bless, Command, Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Divine Favor, Heroism, Protection from Evil and Good, Searing Smite, Shield of Faith, Aid, Lesser Restoration, Magic Weapon, Prayer of Healing, and Zone of Truth.
Hmm.
Don't know if any of them would really be useful in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Searing Smite would be good alone just because of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Although that ends when you hit one mummy. But what that also means is that if the floor is... if the floor around any mummies are doused in oil, then we can just catch a bunch of them in flame.
Hmm.
It'd be much easier if we had Oryx.
Hmm.
He has Meteor Swarm.
If nothing else, he's a very distracting person.
The only problem is if he gets swarmed by someone like him. Then again, what am I on about? He's a dragon. He can just fly above until
That's
they're all
sort
dead.
of what I was thinking. He,
But he's currently helping to save Rua.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who is,
and
to be-
that's important. We need that to happen.
I suppose the other question
Me-
is, are we gonna go in without Rua?
If we have to, yeah. We don't really have the luxury to waste
I
on
know.
waiting on him, do we?
I know. Like you said, this will be a lot easier if Oryx is here himself. If Oryx is here, that means Rua's here as well.
Again, we don't have a lot of time, I'm assuming, and I'd rather just get off the boat as a player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. So, Darren will get on the Griffins, with the Griffins, and provide aerial support. Seamus and Turin will just cast spells like the Shadow Wizard Money Gang they are. Turin does look to you, Seamus. How many uses of Polymorph do you have left?
Just one.
I need to check a spell for you because, right, yeah. I mean, if push comes to shove, we can always fall back on polymorphing someone into a T-Rex and then have them rush down a bunch of mummies and run through them all.
Clear us a path.
If need be, yeah.
Do either of you know anything that's sort of like as dangerous as a T-Rex but has wings, so if they do get swarmed, they can at least get away?
Good question. Very good roll from Turim, actually. So roll at level 8.
Okay, so quick thing, Kaido, out of character.
Yes. Again, out of character.
I'm just looking at the description of polymorph, and it says challenge rating equal to or less than the target's level.
Yeah.
An adult dragon might be too far, but a young dragon?
They're not beasts, though.
It doesn't say beast in the official spell description.
Oh, if they changed it. Because...
Oh, it does say beast. It does say beast. Damn.
Mr. Beast. Yeah, unfortunately, because it has beast, it's a bit of a problem. So there's also not a lot of large. Actually, Turim does say, I have seen a Quetzalcoatlus.
Quetzalcoatl?
That is a very large, like, dinosaur. In fact, out of character, a Quetzalcoatlus is considered huge, which is a 3x3 token. Which means Turim could actually polymorph, say, Aldane, to have Turim, Seamus, and Felix ride on it.
That could work.
Hmm. Also, I'm gonna post what I believe is the size scaling of a Quetzal Coulter
What is that? Cats
in the
Quetzalcoatlus.
general chat of the Discord to give you an idea of like.
Cool. It's a giant pterodactyl.
Hmm. So this could work.
Out of character, isn't a Quetzalcoatl, isn't that the name of an Aztec god?
Probably where the name came from.
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
It is the Aztec god of the northern winds.
Mm-hmm. That's what
The
they
winged
thought what's his
serpent.
face was when he came to fucking
But yeah, so
yeah.
that could be the plan if you guys are up for it. One sec. But yeah, so are we on board for this?
Yeah, I think our
Someone
only
gets
other
turned
real
into a big
option.
hecking dino.
I think our only other real option would be to wait for Oryx to come back, which isn't really an option.
Well, that could take however long,
Yeah.
and we'll need to move back away from these. If they start wandering over, we won't be able to stop them.
No. Yeah, let's do it.
So now the question becomes, who turns into what? Who turns into the Quetzal?
I think
I like the
Darren's
idea of Aldane.
I turned into a T-Rex.
Alright. Yeah, Dyron's the only one that didn't get to transmorphify.
Well, I'm going on the Griffins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Aldane could always become the Quetzal and then gets turned into a T-Rex if, for some reason, he's dropped to 0.
Hmm.
Mm.
There's no point in
Fine,
having, there's no point in like taking unnecessary damage.
How about I become the Quetzal because I'm the squishiest out of the party?
The problem is if we need to have someone cast that spell, you needing to cast another polymorph, it would be awkward with you being dropped down to normal form.
That makes sense. So Aldane it is.
It's
Yeah, sorry, Aldane, you're sort of the most...
As it stands,
what's a
Aldane,
nice
to be
way
honest,
to
you're the
put it?
most expendable in that regard.
I wouldn't say expendable, but I'm gonna be honest, you're not gonna do
It's
much.
your skill set is suited to dealing with the horde like this.
I mean,
That's
hey, when
a
we
good
go in
way
the
of putting it.
pyramid, you'll probably be immensely more useful.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Especially
And
because,
honestly, when we're fighting the Mummy Lord itself,
yeah. Some people just aren't, universally helpful in everything. And that's okay.
Dyron isn't for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Dyron is going with the others. Aldane is going to be rode on by the others with the main party. Do we want to take a short break now? Because
Sure.
this will be very involved, is all.
Yep.
Also, I have dinner, so I want to eat my dinner, so...
Alright.
That's fair.
Yeah, we'll be having a break. Actually, I need to pause the music. There we go.
How sturdy Quetzalcoatl's anyway?
30 hit points,
Ooh,
usually.
not that sturdy.
But they have flyby, but they don't provoke an opportunity attack when you fly out of an opponent's reach.
Okay.
So if for some reason you were really low to the ground, then yeah. Why are you doing more strategizing now?
I'm just trying to think, how Aldane will do if, on and how we will do, should, things go badly, or any of these mummies have, ranged weapons.
True.
That's definitely something we're gonna have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Keep in mind the range of potential ranged weapons and the range of our spells.
True.
I mean, to be fair, Firebolt is like 120 feet. So
Well, the Quetzalcoatlus can fly up to 80 feet a turn.
right.
Also, Aldane will have the mental stats of the thing that he turns into. Giving him an intelligence of 2.
Ooh.
That still means that he can understand like where to go.
Yeah.
But you communicating a complex thing to Aldane will be impossible.
Right. So,
Scuppers things a bit, doesn't it?
so stick to instructions that even Seamus can understand. Got it.
Well, it's more just like changing the plan won't be very helpful.
We'll stick to simple instructions.
He'll know friend from foe, but
Yeah. If only we could have summoned or polymorphed into a gargantuan sperm whale.
Only.
True, but they need to be beached.
I know. But imagine the
And-
fucking Mummy Lord surprise when sees a giant fucking sperm whale just crash down on its horde.
Very true. I
So
mean,
true, bestie. So true.
the problem is, how are you moving it?
I'm not saying
Yeah.
moving anything, I'm just saying like fucking Aldane gets up on like a griffin or something like that, starts falling, and as he falls, cast polymorph and then crash.
I see.
I'm not saying it would be a good plan, I'm just saying it would be a very funny image.
Is that because you've watched The Unexpectables? Can you remember that?
I was actually thinking of Psychonauts 2.
I see.
Did Unexpectables do that?
They did it with a dinosaur.
I mean, it is a good plot beat very often with the shapeshifter.
Remember in
Also-
Teen Titans when they fight Raven's dad,
Yeah.
and Beast Boy becomes a fly, goes into his ear, and then turns into a whale inside his ear.
I mean, to be fair, the one in Psychonauts 2, an excellent time.
I mean, you could also turn. I was going to say turn someone into a hamster, but not very helpful.
I mean, we could have Jeff Goldblumed him and turned him into a giant fly. Wouldn't be very helpful, but, you know, for the reference.
Turn them into a griffin. If then again, no, griffins are monstrosities. I forgot. Hmm. Yes, there we go. I'm looking at all the things. I forgot you could actually turn people into Allosauruses. I don't know why you would, because the T-Rex is always there as an option. I always forget you guys fought a mammoth as well.
We did. We did, in fact.
You fought two, and Ruru revived one.
It's weird.
We've had some weird days.
I mean, Ruru revived it because one of them was still alive, and he didn't want to have to kill the other one when they were just escaping.
Yeah. Also would have been
Yeah,
funny.
we've had-
Also would have been funny to turn Aldane into a huge giant crab.
True, but you've also not met a giant crab yet.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Mm.
Not today.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
Do you think Term's come across a hung harask?
A what?
A huge snail.
No.
Darn, would have been able to get us to the top of the pyramid very easily.
Would have been very slow.
He's got a speed of 10 feet.
Also, if the moment any of them mummies pull out some table salt, you're fucked.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, that's an imaginary scenario because that would never happen.
It's also a very funny play.
A pound of salt does deal 1d6 acid damage to the snail.
Hmm. We could have also done a moon shark. I don't know how, but that is a thing that exists.
I mean, what about an enormous tentacle?
I mean, that's part of an enemy, though.
And yet it's still is classed as a separate beast.
Yeah, but that's more just because what's it called? And then again, no, it's more like a slimy thing. I don't know. I assume that's mostly a separate creature because it would be like its own targetable existence when you're fighting like a giant, like, I don't know.
From the looks of the image, it's meant to just like come out of a pit.
Yeah. I mean, you could also just say like, oh, it's an enormous tentacle because you're fighting like giant sea squid.
Are you talking about like a Sarlacc pit or some shit?
We're just talking about other things we could have turned you into.
Yes, turn me into HP Lovecraft. That'll work just fine. Definitely won't have any detriments.
What did you name his cat?
I mean, maybe the mummies are sensitive to racism. You don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe they're Bostonians.
Oh.
I live in Boston currently.
So true.
Yeah, I've heard there's some issues with racism there.
Oh, it's bad.
I know. I thought I heard as much.
So yeah, Aldane, how would you like to be a giant snail?
I'll pass. I don't want to Junji Ito myself.
Coward.
Hmm.
Congratulations to everyone who got that one, by the way.
Oh,
Did I ever tell you
GG.
guys about the time that my friend, like, thought Uzumaki was a Naruto side story?
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Because he was like, this is such a weird art style. Why is this like, this is a weird Naruto story? And it's like, just read it, it's great. And partway into it, it was like, where are the ninjas?
I know you didn't.
I told him to keep reading because I told him it was a slow burn story. And that
I know. I know why.
Worst part is he's not entirely wrong. It is a
It's a good
slow burn story.
It's a good story, but still, Jesus.
he's a fucking idiot anyway. He thought JoJo's Part 3 was the beginning of the
It
story.
literally has part 3 in the name.
I think he was watching it illegally, so it wouldn't have. I don't know how that would have
Oh,
worked.
it was probably listed as just Stardust Crusaders then.
Because he was like, I thought it's like Metal Gear, where like 3 is the first one in the series, and it's like, yeah, but the thing is, with that, how do I?
You never
describe
know what
it?
you're getting with Metal Gear.
Well, it's not even that. How would you know that any series 3 would always be the beginning? Like, you don't know.
Why would you make that assumption? Seriously.
And I even said, like, you do realize Part 1 is set in fucking Victorian England. How did you not see that? Which, again, lends to the idea that he probably pirated it.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Question.
And he was all...
Has Term come across Onyx the cat? Because Onyx cannot be overcome or killed by combat. Any weapon attack against her that hits AC 12 makes contact but deals no lasting damage. She's also got a speed of 400 feet.
What are you talking
The
about?
fuck? What's going on?
Let me paste the link in the general chat.
Oh.
Don't you put that evil on me!
You can't deny it would be very useful to have right now.
It would, but
Slightly more intelligent than the,
Average bear?
I
I mean, I guess because the whole point is you're actually tiny.
Oh, you
So-
actually,
no,
are,
Onyx is a huge beast.
you actually tiny in
I think you
Orrery
are.
of the Wanderer?
I think you are.
Yeah,
Still funny though.
reduced in size by the magic of the test market. Still funny though, yeah.
It's very funny.
But yeah, it takes place in a common room. So the point is, Onyx is so invincible because you're basically like a fly to it. Be funny if you just upscaled that cat though.
Make it big.
I was actually talking to some people yesterday about like, saying that I'm going to be running a campaign with some other people that I know
Yeah.
while we're having the hiatus because of Seamus. I'm just telling them how I probably want to run things. I've already given a list of all the races that aren't going to be in it. And that's mostly because there's some of the more newer races. Like, I'm not in the mood to have to try and fit Kenda into my setting.
Yeah.
I do not care for that. Like, I'm not interested in doing the Hadazee, the racist monkey race.
Yes.
Just
Like
stick
the-
with what you know. Stick with the basics.
They had Sun Wukong as an inspiration, and they just chose not to go for it.
Cowards.
Are we all here, by the way?
I'm back.
I'm here.
I think it's just Dylan.
Okay.
I'm here. I was just eating a snack. I didn't want to be crunching into the mic.
Oh, then yes, we are
But
all
I'm
here.
right
Smart.
here.
No.
Ha 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 ha.
Please, if you ate that snack, you'd be resorting to cannibalism.
I'm going to take my dinner plate down, and then I'll be ready to go.
Alright.
Cute.
Okay.
Okay, I'm returned.
Good.
Welcome back.
So, do you want to go over the plan once more, just for the sake of, making sure things go okay?
Sure, I'm going to I'm going to get polymorphed into a Quetzalcoatlus and take the bird route over the horde with I believe Seamus and Felix on my back.
And Turum.
Enter him.
Enter him, right. Meanwhile, Dairon, I believe, is going to fly with the Griffin Riders.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and go to town.
Just going pew pew pew.
Essentially, do a run.
Yeah, pew pew pew.
Yeah, Aldane,
Alright then.
it'll be best if you get about 100 to 120 feet up.
Sounds good.
Also, yeah, what's it called? You have you will have 2 intelligence during this,
So I'll be dumb as
Aldane's stupid.
which is why
I'll be
I'm
about
going.
as smart as Seamus. Got it.
Well, what that means to me is that you won't be able to understand complex, or quite frankly, most commands.
All I will need is point in direction.
You'll be able to tell friend from foe,
That's good.
but to my impression would be is like complex changes to the plan will be like impossible for you to really comprehend.
Good
That's
to know.
why, because like 2 is like extremely like dumb, as most animals are. You know, most animals aren't like.
Particularly intelligent now.
Yeah, I mean some can be. It's just usually that intelligence relies on you being within that circumstance that the animal is normally always in.
Hmm.
A dinosaur isn't really usually in a desert in modern. At least most dinosaurs aren't.
Yeah.
Everybody do the dinosaur. The dinosaur.
And yeah, that's why it's going to be tricky if things change dramatically, and let's hope that doesn't happen.
We haven't really seen many mummies wielding weapons, have we?
The ones that you did see were also clearly armored, and were also seemingly more intelligent, I guess you could say. Like the ones that you saw back when Rua finally reappeared seemed to be more like a personal guard.
Do there seem to be many in the crowd right now that are armored?
Give me a perception check. All of you, if you want.
Perception.
Percepción.
Excepciones.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. There. Good.
With a general sweep, because there's far too many to adequately count, you don't notice any that seem to have the capacity to wield weapons.
Right.
So
But
their
that's-
limbs are
but that-
too damaged.
But that's like trying to say that if you're in a concert, you would be able to adequately see the details of every single concert goer.
Yeah,
It's
not
like trying to pick-
practical.
Yeah. From what Darren can tell, there shouldn't be any that know how to use a weapon.
Still stay at a bit of a range just in case. We don't want to take chances.
We should still respect the capabilities of these mummies, especially because we haven't seen the bone claw yet again.
I hate those bastards.
So I'm gonna replay the music. So-
No, it's more like highway to the danger zone. Cha-chum, cha-chum.
So let's go. So the plan is getting underway. So, Darren, you get on the back of a Griffin Rider.
Yeah.
They hand you a quiver of So I'm going to type this out actually so you know how many you've got. Because you've got your crossbow bolt, haven't you?
Yes.
10.
I can also, if they only have arrows, I can also use a short bow.
Yep. And they also have for you flasks. So the fire ones are designed to be lit on fire, and they have a torch for you to do that when you need.
So burn, baby, burn thing. Gotcha.
if you wanted to use any more crossbow bolts and fire, you'd have to start making use of your oil flasks to do that and coat them. So
what should I roll? I guess is the question.
what we're going to do is we're going to do initiative, and then when it comes to initiative, we're going to do generally just general actions. This is going to be a bit fast and loose because of the theater of the mind that's going to be at play.
Sounds good.
Let me bring up the turn order, please. There you go. Now,
Roll initiative. About what I expected.
Good.
I fucking hate D&D. Sorry, I hate Roll20 because I really wish they would stop bringing back the turn order shit when I delete the stuff from it.
Nice.
Oh, is it being stupid again?
I love Roll20. You know, it's great. I love it. I have no complaints about it, and it's incredibly useful and always feature complete resources. Let me.
Careful, I know your sarcasm is showing.
There we go. Okay. Mummy's got a humble 5 with the turn order for their
Ooh, I beat them. I beat
thing.
the mummies.
Okay. So, what I'm going to do is that when Aldane's turn finishes, that'll be the Griffin Rider's turn to do things themselves.
Alright.
Actually, I'll just do it after the mummies. So before Dairon and after the mummies. So, Dairon, you take flight and with a Griffin Rider.
Okay.
You are looking at plagues and plagues of mummies just around.
Is that the collective word for a group of mummies? A plague?
No. No.
I mean, it would fit if it was.
I remember, actually, just on an unrelated note, one of my black friends was telling me that a group of black people is a gaggle of N-words. Just made me chuckle.
That's one way to put it, for sure.
It was more just because he said it with such confidence that, like... But anyway. So, as you are flying along, you see a massive amount of targets. What do you do? If you need any more clarity off me to describe anything in more detail, I can do that whenever.
Okay.
Pew, 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 pew.
I'm gonna save the bomb bolts for a bit.
Those bomb bolts will explode on contact. So you don't need to worry about lighting them on fire.
Right. What about the fire bolts?
So the fire bolts will immediately set a mummy on fire and do overall chip damage for a few turns.
How many, like, if I were to, let's say, how powerful are the explosive on the bomb bolts?
So you are informed that you will get at least a 3x3 square, or circle, I should say. So to give you an idea, if I get the shape token out, do visible aura. So this is like 15. Oh, that's funny. I forgot because we're on miles. Fucking hell. How many is it again? Alright. So that's too big, for fuck's sake. Let me just check again. Is it 1? 3. So imagine it like that. for example. So it's like 3 squares out from the source. So
Oh,
everything
diggity
that,
damn.
everything that's within that, actually that's too big. Now that I think about it, I hate this. One of the times that I hate having, let me just check. No. Could it be? Okay, that's correct. So yeah, it'll hit anything within like a 3x3 circle, square,
Okay.
more or less.
Circle or square? Is it just all these squares make a circle?
So everything that fits within will get it, even on the outside.
Gotcha. All the squares make a circle. Gotcha.
Yeah, true.
All these
Okay.
squares make a circle. All these
guess-
squares make a circle.
Yes, Ken?
I guess my question is gonna be like, what would be the best way to do this? I'm just trying to think of the best order of operations here. Would it be throw oil or use a bomb arrow?
Yes.
I mean, the explosion from the bombs would then catch fire.
Okay, so oil first. Okay, I'm going to throw an. I guess I'm gonna. How high up are we?
That's up to you.
I guess if we were high up enough, would just dropping it break the oil flask?
You would have to pour the oil out.
Okay, we're just
Because
gonna do
otherwise
a straight
it's
run.
Otherwise, it's sand beneath you. So
We're doing a strafing run, boys.
because the thing is, you could eat if only just to answer this question in case anyone is wondering. The reason why you wouldn't be able to just immediately fly to the pyramid is that any entrances you might be able to find, the mummies are around the actual pyramid as well.
Mm.
So even then, you would need to clear out the mummies and any incoming mummies. Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna do a pour run for my first.
Yeah.
Like you, just like pour over, like as we're flying, just pour out like the oil so it's spreading over the group.
I'm just a poor boy from a poor family.
Now I need to check oil. So a normal oil flask contains a pint. Pint of liquid films. Of cover. Trying to find an example of how much area that a pint of liquid would cover.
Mm.
1 pint covers approximately 75 square feet.
Sure.
I mean, that's saying paint, but that's still like a pint of something.
Mm.
Just like how,
Imagine-
you know, a pound of feathers and a pound of bricks are equal.
So the thing is with that oil is more viscous and a lot lighter than paint, so it probably has a bit of more of a splash radius.
True.
There's also the fact that that's likely going to be paint that's been, painted on a wall rather than poured out of whatever container it's in.
Yeah.
Maybe just to multiply the area by like 1.5 and we'll get a good idea of where the oil would go compared to the paint. It's my suggestion.
Because on Roll20, it's just saying that you can, like, splash it on a creature. And it's not saying that, like... Because it also could... It's saying when you pour the flask on the ground, it covers only a 5-foot square area? Which doesn't sound right to me.
No.
Because, like, that means you're dumping, like, the whole... I don't know. D&D's weird and stupid.
It has to give itself specific limitations, otherwise it doesn't work properly as a game, I guess. Well, at least that's what the makers want me to think.
True. I'm going to say you can cover up to, like, 5 creatures worth with 1 oil flask. It's like 5 squares can be oil. How's that sound?
Okay, that's fine with me.
That's my judgment call. I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
So you're just dumping a flask of oil out, right? That's your
Yep.
turn? Yep.
That will be my turn.
You see 5 mummies all splashed in the black liquid that everyone knows and loves. So that's Dairon's turn, because that's your action. Turim is going to do Turim things.
Turim's gonna keep Turiming.
So, how do I describe this? Because, like, Turim's just gonna start picking an enemy to fire with Firebolt for now. He's gonna save the lightning bolts for later.
Why not firebolt the oil?
True, actually. Turim will shoot the fire that Dairon has just set out. Shoot the oil that Dairon has set out. Or at least hit a mummy. And they do. So that is terrible damage roll. 12 damage to a mummy. And the mummy is ignited in flames along with the 5 other mummies nearby. Doing damage to them. How much damage, though? Let me see. Up to... Let's say... 5 fire damage. Just flat. Okay. Right. So that's Turim's turn. Felix. As you are in the air on Aldane the dinosaur's back.
Can we see
What do you do?
Can we see like where the opening of the pyramid is?
You would need to give me a perception check to find an opening.
Right. Well, I can do that.
You're not... I would say you're on the out... Like, you're closer to... From where you set off than you are... Because
Right.
there's still a very big distance between you and the pyramid.
Right. Okay. I still want to do it just to, you know. It's still better to be preparing for that. So, see if I see anything. I probably don't see shit.
There's too much chaos.
Right. Let's just drop a firebolt onto a random mummy then.
Are you going to hit one of the ones that Darren splashed in oil, or just one that's separate?
Aren't they already ablaze?
I mean, yeah, but you can secure a kill by just hitting more, you know, the same mummy. Because that oil's not going to burn forever.
Yeah. Let's hit one that hasn't been hit with oil.
Okay, no problem. Yep. So you strike at one of them. That does hit, of course. 16 damage. Yeah. Seamus.
I'ma start blasting.
What are you blasting? Are you gonna blast one of the ones Daron / Tomb of Burn, or are you doing the one that Felix has hit? Or separate mummy?
I'm hit one of the ones that's burning, not the one that Felix hit.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Hits. Yep.
Same one. Nah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So, Aldane, you are just flying overhead, right?
Yep, I'm flapping my Flappy Bird wings.
Okay.
Or pterodactyl wings, or pterosaur
I know what
wings,
you
as it
mean.
were.
Yeah. So as you're flying in the air, how do I describe this? You're just seeing several of the mummies, like, almost moving in your direction. They're futilely reaching out, you know, because you're so high up in the air.
Bastards.
They can't really do anything. And as the mummies are continuing to run around, you know, following all the Griffin riders, Dairon's Griffin, the Quetzal, they're just helplessly doing nothing and giving the mummies that have already been set on fire a wide berth. As things loop round, you see, so in total, with counting Dairon, there are 6 griffins. And so you see the 5 other griffins putting down oil, splashing, in total, 25 zombies. All different groups, though, so it's all separate. And so, Dairon, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to bomb arrow, so that I can try and hit as many zombies as I can.
I'm gonna say, as things are right now,
Yeah.
you're pretty much always going to hit the maximum 9 enemies.
Okay. Will I be able to like spread the damage out?
In
Like-
what way?
Like what would be the best way to maximize the number that I can hit?
So you could hit one of the zombies that the enemies that's been coated in oil, and then hit the rest that aren't coated in oil. So you're hitting like an extra 4 mummies at
Okay.
a time.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah, you can do that. That's very achievable.
Okay. Should I roll?
So give me a normal crossbow roll.
Okay. No sneak attack, I'm guessing.
No, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fine.
Almost why I had bomb arrows to make up for the sneak attack deficit.
Yeah. That's...
And fire.
All right.
Yep, so roll the damage. So 6 piercing, and let me check the
Okay.
bombs again. I need to remember how much they are. So every bomb arrow is a 2d8 for fire damage.
Okay.
So just roll 2d8.
Seven.
So that's 14 fire damage. Oh no, sorry. The one that actually I'm looking at it wrong. So the one that you specifically target takes that much. Give me an extra. Give me another just D8 for the splash damage.
7.
So that's okay. Wow. So all the zombies, whatever at this point, all the mummies in that 3x3 area all take 14 fire damage, and then the other 4, well, the 5 mummies technically that were oiled up also take 10 fire damage because of the oil burning. So you actually do a lot of damage overall. So
I guess my question, like, this is another question. I guess my question is, are we dealing with like in terms of scale, thousands or hundreds?
Hundreds. At most, it's probably only like 200 and change.
Okay, so this is like we can deal with this, not a uncountable number.
If it was in the thousands, Akra and Oryx would be physically here to like be dealing with all of them. Like, this is a very difficult but still manageable if you're good with your resources. But yes, don't forget you do have your bonus action if you wanted to do anything with that, like a skill check.
Can I try and be like eyes in the sky, calling out? So like use my perception to,
Yeah.
maybe like, or
Yeah, just in
at the
case
very
there's
least-
anything of note.
Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah.
27.
As you're looking round, you see if any zombies are of note in the general area that you are looking round.
I also
What-
have just as a note, I do have, I can use a perception check to spot a hidden creature, so that's
Yeah.
also part of this.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm accounting for that. So you don't see, in the general vicinity that you are looking around, you don't notice anything of note in terms of any mummies that might secretly be a weapon user or a spellcaster. These just seem to be like a fuck ton of mummies. These are probably civilians that the mummy lord had before, they all died. You see like women, you see children, you see just different like people, all like shambling corpses now. And yeah,
Okay.
Turim is going to start shooting at another mummy that hasn't. Actually, Turim's just going to continue attacking the one mummy that they hadn't killed yet, because they'd rather just focus on just killing at least a mummy at a time. 13 hits. Yeah, hits. Nope, that was wrong. 13 fire damage. So, the one mummy that Turim was attacking actually dies.
Nice.
Turim is also going to do a perception check because... So, as you're flying around Daldane, Turim actually points straight ahead and calls, "Watch out!" And so, I'm going to need Aldane for you to give me a dexterity saving throw, not with your stats, with the Quetzals. Let me Google how much they have. So I want you to give me a... just give me a D10. Give me a D20, sorry, plus 1. It's like roll a standard D20 plus 1.
Yeah, 20.
So, Seamus, Aldane, and Felix, as Turim calls out up ahead, Aldane manages to not have disadvantage on this roll, as you see one of those magical barriers in the air.
Oh yay!
As
Spell magic.
at the rate that Aldane was flying at, he would have crashed headfirst into that. It seems that even in the air, the barriers can be formed. And you don't know what might happen if Aldane, while polymorphed, might hit that straight on. Other than just falling down to the ground, because,
Yeah.
As Turim's turn ends, they just say, "We need to be keeping an eye out for any of the barriers." Felix, it is your turn now.
Gonna do another perception check to look for where the opening is in the pyramid.
I would say you need to be getting. You need to be. I'm gonna. Okay. So from what you can tell, there seems to be. Right now, you can barely see one opening from the side of the pyramid that you're looking at. However, it looks to be littered with mummies. And you're already, like, having to deal with these on the outskirts.
Right, well, otherwise I will take a firebolt at...
Do you do any of the ones that are oiled?
yes.
Okay,
He has food ammo.
that hits.
Oh.
So the one mummy that you strike dead on, taking 28 fire damage, actually dies instantly on impact. As it then chips away at all the other mummies that are nearby, the other 4 that didn't get hit. And yeah, so that's your turn. Seamus.
I'm gonna use Dispel Magic on that barrier.
I will say, when you pass by the barrier, it just seems to be floating there.
Like, it's not really in our way, it's just a bit of an obstacle.
It's not like... I mean, unless Aldane for some reason decided to fly back in that exact pocket of the air, you shouldn't need to worry.
Okay,
Someone
then we'll start
cast
blasting
it
again.
there specifically.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything.
No. I mean, you never saw the barrier the first time you ever met one.
No,
You
as in,
never
like
saw
I
that
didn't.
being
I
dropped.
didn't see a spellcaster. Is my
No.
point.
From what you have been able to see in your immediate area, you haven't been able to notice one. If you wanted to do one a bit further along the pyramid, you'd need to be closer, and therefore fly away from the group,
Okay.
which has its own difficulties.
Right.
So, what are you doing then, Seamus?
I started blasting.
Are you hitting the mummy that you've already been attacking?
Might as well finish the job.
Okay. Hits. Yeah.
Did that finish the job or no?
No.
Another.
You've not done enough damage.
All right, and then that's my turn.
Yep. So that mummy you're attacking looks like one more good hit will probably kill it. Aldane, you're having to deal with, like, suddenly these floaty things are appearing in front of me. You know, they don't seem very good. And again, you continue to see more and more, not more and more, but you continue to see all the mummies burning alive or unalive. It's just generally being like a cacophony of noise and moaning and groaning. If you want, you can give me a perception check, which would be a d20 plus 2, to notice if there might be any more of those barriers. That's if you want to, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Sorry, I missed part of that.
So, if you want to, you can spend a perception check, a d20 plus 2, to be able to see if there might be any other barriers.
Alright, I'm gonna do that then. So that's 13.
You aren't noticing if the any other barriers appearing. You do look back though, and you see the barrier you avoided is now gone. the mummies continue to writhe and thrash, and generally, again, being noisy little shits, as they are. Again, you've seen a lot of them try to split away from each other, but there's so many that, like, it's barely noticeable. Like, you could still be dropping AoEs for fun, and you wouldn't, like, start having to, like, angle things or do silly shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You continue to see more of the Griffin Riders beginning to douse more and more zombies in oil. There are now, again, another 25 mummies.
So much
covered in
oil on the battlefield that the U.S. military is going to come in to help us.
Yeah,
What's a U.S. military?
the villains.
That sounds like a war crime.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds like war crimes.
It's so Jova for these guys. Time to hit him with the Biden blast. Anyway. So, you see, again, in total, there's like 50 now that have been doused in oil. And so, Dairon,
Yes.
as you're flying around, what do you do now?
Well, I'm gonna shoot another bomb arrow. Like
Oh, you're doing- yeah.
similar style.
Yeah.
The original ones that I hit, are they dead or still going?
Most of them are dying. Probably one more AoE could probably take them out, but you're not the only one dropping stuff, so it's up to you whether you just want to do like chip damage after chip damage, or do you want to start securing kills?
I'm just here to start making sure things get damaged enough that they start breaking.
Yeah,
Things
because
start
like
breaking apart.
Turim and Seamus have AoEs that they can drop anyway.
Right. So I'm gonna do a similar thing to a different group.
Or Felix as well. I always forget about Vitriolic Sphere.
21.
So you hit another a mummy and you blast it with
Another
2d8
six.
fire damage.
Another 6.
So you kill that mummy on impact with that blast. The rest of the mummies all take 14 fire damage again. And then another 10 damage to the mummies covered in oil. You're smelling a lot of burnt, rotten flesh.
Joy.
Are you doing anything else with your turn?
I'm just gonna keep looking for other enemy, like just anything coming.
Anything, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
any.
give me a perception check.
Like if there's anything that we need to worry about, I'm like me or Seamus are probably our best bets. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nope.
for
I see
perception?
nothing. I see nothing.
So,
Let me try.
Well,
Or
it's not your
what?
turn.
No, on my turn I should do it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's how turns work, bro.
Well, I thought it was just a general perception check.
No. So, as you're flying around, you're too busy noticing the franticness. The smell of the corpses as well is making you really uncomfortable. Especially if you remember, there was a lot of eaten corpses when you dealt with Flora.
Mm,
And as your mind is beginning to be distracted, I'm going to need you to give me a disadvantaged dexterity saving throw.
okay. 23.
At the last possible second, you see the Griffin having to like do an actual barrel roll, like a Star Fox barrel roll, as you narrowly avoid being hit with a magical barrier dead on.
Do we know who's casting magical barriers yet? I am not seeing anything.
Neither am I, friend. Let's be more wary, though. We don't want that to happen again, the Griffin Rider says to you. As that's your turn. Turim actually yells out, It's probably the Mummy Lord watching us from somewhere.
He's strong. Fucking hell.
This is probably what happened last time. I don't think that mummy we fought earlier was the caster. As Turim says that, they fire a firebolt at a oil-covered mummy. Or try anyway. And fail. That was actually really fucking bad. Honestly, if Turim had rolled even like a nat 3, they would have hit. As they're too busy talking and trying to, like, inform you all, they completely miss their shot. Felix, it's your turn. What do?
Can I do a perception check to see if there's any more barriers popping up?
Yeah.
Alright. Probably not.
You look around and you only see the barrier that Dyron nearly got hit by.
Alright. Firebolt and oil-covered mummy.
Yep. I was expecting to get a nat 1, like Turim.
That'd been funny.
This one mummy suddenly hits you with the Ultra Instinct. As you strike a fire-covered mummy and instantly vaporize it with 40 damage.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna say, the oil that you cover the mummies in increases in power, because I'm being generous.
Thank you.
As you do that, give me a d4, and that's how much extra damage the fire that the other mummies are being hit by is increased by.
3.
So that is 16 damage. All the other mummies are being hit by. You know, the ones that are covered in oil anyway. Yep. As you do a very meaty hit. Now, it is Seamus's turn. What do?
I'm gonna do that perception check to see if I can find who's casting the barriers.
I think we know it's the Mummy Lord at this point.
Well, yeah, but that's to check. It's just a bonus action, right?
Yeah. You don't see any of the mummies that look like they're casting spells from where you are. Again,
Well, that's a good thing. At least they don't have any mummy wizards.
If you wanted to probably get a better idea of if there actually are any casters, you'd have to go deeper in, which means potentially more dangerous things if you fall, because then you'd be swarmed by even more mummies.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna keep blasting.
Yep.
Same Mummy.
Yep. Dead.
Yay! Let's
You
find
blast
another
through
mummy
the
that's on
mummy's
fire.
net, and it just collapses.
Let's find another mummy that's on fire.
Well, there's a bunch. I was going to say a bunch of the ones that are being chipped by the oil.
Well, I can't really light them on fire, can I?
No, but you can still chip enemies down.
All right, I'll chip one of them. Oh,
You hate to
Rip.
see it.
yeah, that's just a 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aldane, you are flying around. Do you want to give me another perception check?
Sure. D20 plus 2, right?
Yes.
Nope.
You aren't noticing shit, Captain. You're too busy being transfixed on the barrier that nearly hit Dyron. And at this point, you start to see several mummies are dropping dead from some of the fire. The chip damage and everything's catching up to them now, as they've been taking damage over time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, about 10 mummies just drop dead after they've been burnt to death.
Good.
That's fun.
And yeah. Dyron. Actually, no, sorry. So, as the turn leaps around to the Griffin Riders, some of them start to fire burning arrows to start chipping away at enemies. Let me make some rolls. That's a hit, that's a hit, that misses, that's a hit, and that hits. So only one of the 5 mummies that was being attacked didn't get hit. Oh. So one of them max rolled so well that the fire that they get lit on fire with just kills them anyway.
Good.
But okay. Right, yeah. So, the other ones are injured, but not dead. However, as they begin to also roll for perception checks, one of them fails. And one of the ones that failed has to make a dexterity saving throw now, as the barrier seems to form in front of her and her griffin. And she hits it dead on. Her and her griffin collide with enough force that she takes damage from the impact. That is a decent amount of damage. Not much, but still. And she falls down to the ground. If that griffin rider isn't helped, by the time that the mummies come around, they're all going to swarm her and the griffin as they are prone. Dairon.
What's nearby the griffin? Like the felled rider. Like
The felled rider and just a bunch of mummies.
like as in
There's no like
Are-
terrain or like, you know.
my question. It's more, are any of the zombies near them? Or
Oh.
mummies, rather.
Thankfully, they
oiled
landed
or
in
not?
a group of oiled mummies.
All right, I'm gonna try and bomb arrow near that, and try to clear a swath.
Yeah. Okay.
Like give
You've
them
been keeping
some
track
breathing
of your
room.
bomb arrows, right?
Yep, I have 3 left.
Yep.
So, I'm just trying to cut them a swath so they have some breathing room.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So what happens is you make the shot and it just gets buried under sand. I guess it was a dud.
Ah.
As yeah. Do you do anything else with your bonus action, perhaps, or is that it? You can also order the Griffin Rider to land or do stuff.
If I guess my question is, how long would the Felt Rider need to get back to safety?
Well, her and the Griffin would need to come out from prone,
Okay.
and then they'd also need to fly back up.
Okay.
But that's still after the mummies, though. So she would need some help, unless you want to help her get up immediately from being prone and shit, then
Can we do that, or?
you'd also need to be near her, and you've already pretty much used your action to do stuff.
Okay.
You can fly nearby, but it's one of those where she won't have the next turn to do that anyway.
I see.
By the time your turn comes around, it's very likely they're going to die. Or be mummy rotted anyway. So
I can't jump down and be on nearby trying to help provide support.
you could. It's just then the mummies will also be going after you. That's whether you want to take that risk.
I'm gonna take the risk.
Okay, so you ordered the Griffin Rider to go over.
I ordered the Griffin. I give give the Griffin Rider like all the gear that they given me, and jump down. And I'm gonna fight with isolation and my short sword.
Okay. This is already getting spicy. Turim looks over and is like, shit.
I mean, this is the best I can do at this point.
No, yeah, Turim's just more like panicking. So, Turim begins to throw a firebolt at some of the oil-stricken mummies that you're near. Hits for 28 damage. So the mummy that he hits immediately dies on contact. And the four of the mummies begin to take fire damage from that attack. From the oil being burnt, sorry. Turim's also going to use a perception check, as the barrier from before is gone. So, Turim looks around and notices the barrier by one of the other Griffin Riders and calls out to them, allowing them to make a normal dexterity saving throw when it comes to their turn. Felix.
Gonna make another perception check to look for barriers. Better.
The only one you notice is the one that Turim pointed out.
Right.
It seems to be that only one barrier can be formed at a time.
Okay. Any oil-soaked mummies, around where Darren and the Griffin Rider are?
Yes, because Turim already struck a group.
Is there another group, or just that group?
Not close enough that they would be able to get to the Griffin Rider anyway right now.
Right.
It's just this one group. But there's still other unoiled mummies that will get to Dairon and the Griffin Rider, if not dealt with.
If I were to drop a vitriolic sphere, how many would I be able to catch? With a 20
Well, how big is it?
20-foot radius sphere.
Well, it's normally 5 by 5. So that's... 1 second. I need to check something. 20-foot sphere. That would allow you to hit 5, 12, 19, 20, 21, 20, 24, 30. About 68 mummies. There would be enough to hit every space of vitriolic sphere that it would cover. There would be a mummy in it.
Right. I will do that. Obviously not right on top of them, but in the...
Yeah, but enough that you can get a lot of them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Basically drop it where I can hit the most mummies nearby where Darren and the Griffin Rider are. So...
Yeah. So that is a lot. That's what, 50, 40 damage? Yeah.
Well, that 13 is for any that fail.
Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna do an average. I'm gonna do like 5 rolls.
I'm
and
not
that determines
expecting
the
you to do
average.
68 dexterity saves for these mummies.
I'm doing it for the art. So, every roll, all 5 rolls I did as an average failed.
Right.
So, you kill every single mummy inside that sphere. There is now an alarmingly sized patch of mummy, like open space where the mummies used to be.
Cool. There's a reason I picked
in your head, Felix, you hear the voice of Genbu. Go get him. Fuck him up.
Yes, there is a reason I picked Vitriolic Sphere as my 4th level spell.
As his voice begins to trail off, you hear him say, "See, Byako, can your champion do that?" And then all of a sudden,
like, why is my champion being suicidal?
then all of a sudden, Aldane, you just hear "fuck off" in your head.
You don't understand it though. You're just like, what?
So yes, as you destroy a massive amount and get the MVP of the game, yeah, you do very well. Seamus, it's your turn.
Keep on blasting.
Yep. Where are you attacking?
The same, or one of the new ones that's on fire.
Okay, so the ones near Dairon.
Yes.
8 damage, okay. Didn't you get that exact same sort of roll earlier?
Yes. I think
Yeah.
it was the other way
a 4
around.
and an 8.
I think it was the other way around.
For the
Yeah, it
damage,
was a 4 and
anyway.
8.
Yeah, for the damage,
that
yeah.
one.
It was the exact
Oh my
same
God.
roll on the to hit dice.
That's still 10 damage.
Okay.
You kill one of the weakened mummies with that. As Aldane, this is your turn. As you fly overhead,
Perception?
I mean, you've already seen a barrier being pointed out, and you saw the, because it's the one that the Griffin Rider fell down. I'm going to say, because, here's the thing with Polymorph. You retain the mental stats you keep the mental stats of the beast, but you keep your alignment and personality. What might Aldane do in this situation normally, seeing Dairon jump down to save someone?
Help Dairon, probably.
So you're going to fly by Dairon, or, actually land, specifically? I'd rather just have more clear wording, if only for the sake of, what you're actually doing.
Aldane would fly towards Dairon, but not land, so that the others could have a shot at, providing air support.
Okay. So you're just flying above, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, with the amount of mummies that have been killed, as they swarm around, you see as the Griffin Rider and the Griffin are being attacked, but not anywhere near as many as there would have been. So, that's a miss, and that's a miss. Now I need to make a roll for the mummies that attack the Griffin. That's a hit, and that's a miss. So, the Griffin's been hit. Let me see, it's mummy with a rotting fist. So it didn't actually take a lot of normal damage, but it did take some necrotic. Now I need to make a Constitution saving throw to see if this Griffin's going to get mummy rot. This is a public roll. Con save, okay. Griffin has a +3 to con saves, though. It
Ow.
failed. This Griffin has mummy rot. As you hear the sounds of the Griffin in pain, and you see, Dairon, the wound that this Griffin has suffered is like... Already the veins around it are beginning to, like, become darkened.
Shit.
As it's your turn, and you're in melee with these... Actually, no, wait. As it loops to the Griffin Riders, you see one of the Griffin Riders actually loosening a bolt, an arrow of fire as they strike a mummy, critting it, and instantly killing one of the mummies that attacked the Griffin. The others begin to loosen arrows of fire to strike some of the groups of mummies. Most of them are... Let me see, actually. Yep, most of them are severely injured, the ones that do get hit. Like, the ones that actually get hit with an arrow, I mean. Sorry. So, Darren, it's your turn now.
Okay. Are there any more zombie mummies or within striking within melee of the rider of the Griffin?
Yeah.
Um,
The Griffin Rider has 2. The Griffin only has 1 now.
Alright, I'm gonna strike at the one with the Griffin Riders.
Okay.
And this would have sneak attack because they are in melee.
Yeah. Hits. You immediately kill it.
And then I offhand dagger the next one with no sneak attack.
Chip damage is chip damage after all.
13?
Hits.
Look, you take it sometimes. You take what you can get.
Yep. As you take the L, Turim strikes at one of the mummies attacking the Griffin itself.
Is a 28 though an L though?
I meant the second hit, but yeah, I know what you mean. And they barely hit, and they kill. I'm gonna say they hit the one Dairon hit, which means it's exactly dead. So the one that Dairon slightly nicked is now suddenly dead. You just say Turim call out and say, "Thank you, Dairon. I wouldn't have killed it if you didn't nick it with that dagger hit."
Yeah, you're welcome.
Darren's like, they must never know. Felix.
Are there still any mummies around within melee range of the group on the ground?
Yes.
I shall be taking a firebolt shot at one of them then.
I was going to say, before you roll, you could drop another vitriolic sphere and hit like another 60+ patch of mummies. While still getting the one that you actually want to hurt.
I shall do that then. Only 24
Okay.
this time.
I'm going to make another average roll. And none of them got higher than a 15, which means they all fail. Which means another 60+ patch of mummies are eviscerated. Once again, you hear the cheering of Genbu in your soul as you, cut another swath through. Seamus, in your head, you hear from Suzaku, "Why can't you be like that?"
I love how the divine beasts are just proud parents.
Do you do anything with your bonus action, Felix? You do have inspiration. Don't forget you can hand out.
I do, but
You don't have to, but it's there.
yeah, I'm gonna make another perception check for barriers.
You aren't sure where this barrier is.
Alright.
The one above that hit the Griffin Ride is gone, so...
Yeah.
Seamus, it's your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna keep blasting the ones around Dayron.
That hits. Okay.
Yay!
Oh, he's gaming.
Yay!
My man's is
Finally.
gaming as he kills a mummy.
I'll take it.
My man's gamed so hard he finally killed a mummy on his own.
I gamed so hard I came.
Do you do anything with your bonus action, by the way?
No, I can't really. No.
Okay. Aldane, as you fly around and see a big open space that you could actually land by. Not saying you have to, but that's just, giving you your options. What do you do?
I shall land and use my wings.
As you land by Dairon and the others, you look around and just give a bunch of the mummies the stink eye. And at this point, the mummies are too busy being approaching you that they actually can't attack. Dairon,
Yes.
now that the Griffin Rider is up and on her Griffin, she actually says, "I need to get this Griffin back because we can't afford it to."
Go.
So let me see.
I just yell, "What are you still doing here? Go!"
Fine, fuck you. No, let me see. So what happens is, as she flies away, the Griffin Rider who crit earlier lands for you to get on.
I jump on.
Yep. So you're on, which means now it's going to be your turn this time. As you also see some of the other Griffin Riders are continuing to harry and burn other mummies. In the distance, you're actually noticing a few more mummies are dying of being burnt alive at this point because of the damage over time. So that's good.
Right.
It's getting to the point where you're noticeably seeing less mummies now, especially because of Felix fucking popping off.
All right. Are there any mummies left still that are, I guess, on fire? Or
Yes.
oiled?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna shoot one of my last two fireball boats. Bomb bolts.
Yes. Yeah. No problem.
20.
That hits.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good amount of damage. And then another, 2d8.
There we go.
You instantly kill one of the mummies. And then give me another d8 for splash damage.
Less bad, less good, but it's something.
At least it's double damage. It's not a 1, it's only a 2 at least. So, Turim...
No message from Seiryu for me?
No. Seryu's not that petty. So because Turim's landed, they actually drop a lightning bolt. So I need to check how many enemies can be caught in a lightning bolt.
It's a line for 150 feet, right?
It's a 100-foot line. Let me see.
100-foot line, yeah. 100
2,
foot from
4,
5 feet
6,
wide.
8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16.
It's 20 if you're trying to like do the. If you're sticking zombies in one 5-foot square, it's 20.
So it'd be double because Term can angle it exactly in the middle.
So 40.
Yeah, so Term's gonna hit 40 mummies with a lightning bolt. Level 3
We be mathing, boys.
for 26 lightning damage. Again, I'm going to do an average. Not one of them passes. So Term kills exactly 40 in a line. Because he actually moves over to point blank shoot 2 mummies. And then moves back because he doesn't have to take an opportunity attack. So he like dismounts and then moves into position back again after he kills a bunch. Felix. What do? You could drop another vitriolic sphere, but it'll be much further away because at this point there's enough dead mummies that there's actually gaps from around the rough area where you are. So you'd have to like do it closer to the entrance of the pyramid, which you still need to get to anyway.
So you said there was what, about 200 zombies, 200 mummies?
There's more than 200, but it's if you round down, yes.
Round down from what?
To the nearest 100.
So less than 250.
Yes.
Alright,
And you've already dealt with over 120 on your own.
I was gonna say, I've taken out 120. Term's just taken out 40, so that's 160.
So that's more than half already.
Beyond that, we've been going at a fair clip already with just, killing them via... So
most of the concentrated chunks are around the entrance.
Right.
Meanwhile, Darren's just like, I'm here helping.
You have been, to be fair.
Fuck it. I'll drop another vitriolic sphere near the entrance.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's getting shiced. So... Oh, damn. Okay, not all of them actually die this time.
Oh?
So out of 68, I believe it was, or something like that, only half die.
Alright.
But that's still over 30. Which, there's a drastically reduced number of mummies now.
Is that them passing the save? Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea is it's how many pass.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fine.
So yeah, if it was more than half of them, obviously, then even more would have passed.
Yeah, no,
but it
that's
was
fine.
the average was enough to make it halfway.
All right,
roughly.
yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I hope it is.
No, it's not fine. I'm gonna start complaining about it over other people's turns now.
Sieve, mold.
Sorry,
So-
I'm a little salty about my rogues are not built for AoE.
No,
Nope.
no.
To be fair though, you're doing well with what you've got. And hey, you did the cool move of jumping down to save the Griffin Rider.
As I said, there is a distinct reason I picked Vitriolic Sphere, and that is because I needed an AoE spell.
Also, out of character, this is for the casters, because they don't really get to enjoy their AoEs as much.
This is true.
Especially when you guys get like one-on-one boss fights where people like Aldane and Dairon are clowning on the enemies.
Yeah, I get like, what, 46 stealth sneak attack now?
Yeah, it's stupid. So, right. So, Seamus, as you are landed on the ground for now, until Aldane takes off again, do you do anything?
You said there's still a crowd of like
There's still
30 plus
There's still
that
a
are
few,
in
yeah.
by the
You can
entrance,
Yeah, you can still chip down quite a few.
or I could, shatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do shatter. Ooh,
Okay.
spicy meatball.
This will secure the kill on any of the ones that are in that sphere. Let me just.
Yep.
10-foot radius sphere is.
So it's 20-foot diameter sphere.
Okay. So. Wow, that's actually a surprising amount pass. Not all, only a few pass. So most of them are dead.
Yay!
So you did a good amount.
All right.
Aldane, this is your turn and you are landed. Do you fly back up?
That is a good question.
Because you don't have a lot of damage potential as a Quetzal cultist.
Good to know.
Out of character, you don't do a lot. You're actually better off just not getting hurt.
Okay, I will take to the sky again, and I will keep in close proximity.
Yep. So, as it's the mummy's turn, and more begin to burn to death from the flames, the area begins to shake, and I'm actually going to ask Mill to cut the music for now, while I change things over.
Are we gonna get Rua like riding the purple worm like a thresher ball?
No,
He's just gonna come in all a dune. Just ride the worm.
No, he actually surfs on the back.
Music has been
Fucking
cut.
ads. Let me when the ad stops, when the ad ends, please end. Nope, this isn't the song I wanted. Fuck. It's fine. This is fine. Is this the one? Here we are. Mill, here's the music. I'm posting it as I stall for time. There we go. There you go. Play that.
Alright.
Tell me when you're playing it.
It is now playing.
You see yet another beam of light piercing the heavens. The red beam from before. Everywhere begins to violently shake. Several mummies actually get knocked prone from this. And you begin to see the beam of light cuts. Like, it stops partway into the air. And from that, when the beam stops, you see a tiny black orb in the air.
No.
It's visible.
No,
What?
you did not.
You don't know what I'm doing yet.
The player has
So-
ideas.
So this orb that's in the air, you see it because it's bright and sunny outside.
Is it I'm gonna DM you.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for Gen to DM me before I say. But you see this orb begin to almost shake in the air, and it's not good.
You bastard.
As the sphere begins to like pop like a bubble, and then what happens is the residue from this orb like spreads and spreads, and it looks as if it's forming over and around where the pyramid is. And Dairon,
Yes.
you hear from Seiryu, get inside that immediately. If you want to get inside the pyramid.
I scream with the Griffin. I told the Griffin Raiders to sprint towards towards the opening.
It's not closing yet, but you need to. If you guys, from the sounds of it, from what Seiryu said to you, Darren, if you want to get inside, you'll need to book it before that. This bubble seems to fully form around the pyramid.
We need
As
to go now.
it's the Griffin's turn. They actually say, "We're going to fly back and inform the others what's going on." As they begin to depart. As to be fair, the only Griffin rider that's flying with any of you guys is the one with Dire on. And speaking of, it's your turn. So, are you going to be making your way over?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
flying. We're like dashing over, I think.
As the Griffin dashes over, you find yourself able to get there, and you are able to dismount and be by the only entrance you're able to see into the pyramid. What do you do when you dismount?
And is it opening? What's happening here?
So, as you approach the pyramid, you see a entrance big enough to fit people inside, and you see some of the how do I describe this? So it's like a doorway, I guess you could say. But you also notice the door itself is beginning to tremble, and you see how do I describe this? From above, the top of the frame of this entrance is also a door slowly dropping down like a shutter. So it looks like you don't have any time to waste. You need to get there.
Right. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. I'm just gonna go.
Okay. As you do, you actually go inside the pyramid then, or do you stand by the entrance?
I'm gonna wait until I can't wait any longer.
Okay. Turim, it's their turn. And they point over to the entrance to say, "We need to get inside now. Come on." And no, they can't actually because they're maintaining concentration on polymorph. They can't do anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, Seamus can cast haste.
Well, that's Seamus's turn. But yeah, Turim's we need to go now. We can't waste any time. Felix, do you do anything? If you have anything you can do, really. Because I'm gonna say now, from where you are, Aldane will need to fly over there to get there. Really, on foot, you won't be able to get in.
Then, no, not really.
No problem.
Kind of just as a note, if it looks like the door is gonna close and I won't be able to get in otherwise, I'm going in.
Yeah. Seamus, what do you do?
We're at the entrance now.
No. Aldane will
Not
need to
quite.
fly you to the entrance because it's not. You won't be able to get there on foot. So unless you have a spell that can make you get there faster or get you over there immediately.
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to use it.
Which one?
Dimension door?
It's up to you. You can take one other person with you to guarantee you'll get in. And you'll be able to make the easier with Dimension Door.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't be able to use polymorph.
Yup, you don't need polymorph right now. Also, what's it called? Term's the one holding polymorph right now.
True.
You can haste Aldane. Potentially.
True.
What if I
Good.
teleport me and Aldane over to the door and just let the rest of you fall? No,
I believe Aldane's actually too big anyway, because you need creatures around your size.
So I could probably bring... So I turn to the
off
group and I
Felix.
say, if I'll say like, hey, I could bring Daron with me to the entrance with
I'm
Dimension
already
Door.
there.
Darren's not next to you.
Oh, never mind then.
It is the
Well,
group on the Quetzalcoatlus that is not there.
Oh, so Daron's already at the entrance then.
Yeah, Darren's waiting at the door for you.
The door's
could bring-
open. Let's go.
I'm gonna save Dimension Door for later in case we need it.
But are you doing anything else then with your spells or your turn?
Yeah, are there still mummies near the entrance?
They're all prone right now.
I'll take a couple pot shots.
Okay. I will say, before you did roll, attacks against prone creatures are at disadvantage.
Really? Why? I figured it would be advantage.
Because
Only
smaller
Indy has
target.
stupid rules.
yeah.
All right. Well, still a
I
21.
mean, that still hits, but yeah, okay. Yeah, you hit a mummy.
I guess that one doesn't.
misses. I mean,
Yeah,
even
that's
if
fine.
you didn't have disadvantage, you still would have missed.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Aldane, you
Yes?
see the door. You see this bubble beginning to form down, and it's getting closer and closer to closing over the pyramid. What do you do?
So I'm supposed to head towards the portal, right?
The entrance, yes.
Is everyone all present and accounted for?
I'm going to say they're on your back.
I zoom.
That is 160 feet. Just for the sake of,
Yeah.
So you fly over as fast as you are able to, and you are barely past the bubble. You're seeing it beginning to continue to drop down. Like, this isn't, it loops round and it gets closer. Every single turn that's passing, it's getting more and more over. It's at the point where it's beginning to get dark because this has blotted out the sun for you guys now. And yeah, that's your turn. And the door is beginning to also close inside the pyramid. Interestingly enough, any of the mummies that are still alive aren't moving. Almost as if they're just completely lifeless. Dairon.
I'm gonna ready an action as soon as, if I can't, as soon as it becomes too small for me to fit, I'm just gonna roll under it.
It's enough to the point where you can still get inside, but you would just have to slightly lean down. Not even a full crouch yet.
I'm gonna
But
go in.
I will say it's not big enough for Aldane right now to fit into.
I'm gonna go in.
Okay? As you go inside, Turim actually... what will Turim do? 90 feet. So Turim actually drops polymorph. So Aldane, you're no longer a dinosaur.
I am no longer a dinosaur.
He then says, Aldane, come with me, and holds his hand out to you to grab it.
I clasp his hand.
They immediately thunderstep. Over to the door. What?
Thunderstep?
They don't have any other teleport.
Is that not gonna hit Seamus and I?
Is it from where you are?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a get out
Oh, I guess then they won't.
it's a get out of shit card, yeah.
Yeah.
True. I mean, you guys can take the damage.
I'd rather not.
You were just saying earlier in the session how every hit point can count.
Yeah, but the mummies aren't doing anything right now, and you guys could have a short rest after this.
I don't really need a short rest right now. I need to recover spell slots more than I need to recover health.
How about you? I don't have anything right now. Okay then. So instead, Turim is going to. Turim's actually going to drop it anyway and cast haste on Aldane. And they say to you, Aldane, hold that door open as best you can while we make our way over.
I will hold the door.
And Turim just begins to fucking dash over. Aldane with a dash can get over, is the thing.
Yes.
Felix, it's your turn. As you see Turim is booking it.
Felix will also book it.
Do you do any spells to get over there quicker? Because you could actually Thunderstep Turim over if you really wanted. If you want to be that way. Otherwise, you shouldn't need to worry.
Is Turim moving slower than the rest of us?
Turim's got normal movement speed,
Right,
which is to say they're moving 60 feet a dash.
right. So if I can make it, Turim should make it, right?
Yeah?
Okay. So yeah, I'll just dash, like.
Okay. Seamus, what do you do?
Booking it.
You're dashing? Just dashing?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're dashing over, by this point, it's at a stage where you will have to crouch to get inside that door. Aldane, you can make it there if you dash.
Aldane's gonna dash.
As you dash over, you are at the door. Do you do anything with your bonus action? Or actually, wait, let me check with haste, because I always forget what haste lets you do.
Haste gives you another action.
Use an object. Dash, disengage, hide. So you can use your haste if you want to, like, hold the door from being able to close.
Can I give him assistance?
No, because it's not your turn yet. This is still, like, combat loop.
Got it.
Do you decide to hold the door open for the others, Aldane?
Yes.
Give me a strength check.
Roger will do.
You can use your normal stats now.
Woot woot.
You're no longer confined to dinosaur.
There we go. Haha, yes.
As you use your strength, you hold the door open. And you are really struggling, actually. It's fucking heavy. And you find yourself, like, having to, like, buckle under the strength of this door as you are, slowing it down. You're not able to stop it completely. I will say as a reminder, a rage will give you advantage on strength checks.
Going into a rage?
Yes, if you wanted to do that, you do have your bonus action.
Sure, why not?
As for the first time, would you say this is the first time Aldane's ever used it, or do you think he's tried it before? The outrage rage.
I think it's the first time.
But I'm saying, do you think Aldane would have ever used it before now? Or is this his first ever time?
I think it's his first ever time.
As you begin to feel fury coursing through your body, a rush of adrenaline, the desire to make sure your friends get inside, and also generally you feel all the resentment you've bottled up over time from different sources rushing through you. All you can do is just let out a mighty scream as you're holding this door open. Dairon, what are you doing in the meantime?
What does it look like inside?
Emptiness, just black. You
Can
can't
I-
see further inside.
Is there like a mechanism that I can see, or?
It looks to be like the normal entranceways to Dracolich dungeons. We'll have to go inside and enjoy some lovely, lovely memories of the
Well,
past.
I meant more the door.
You don't see a mechanism for the door.
Okay. I guess I just camp out. I'm gonna try and like hold open the door with Aldane, but I'm not doing much.
Give me an intelligence check if you want, for an idea.
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's your turn. Tarim is continuing to book it over, and they cast Misty Step and find themselves right by Dairon.
Fancy seeing you here.
Come on! As they call out, Felix, it's your turn.
Would I be able to make it under just dashing?
No.
Then
You won't be inside if you dash.
Then I will
just
also
dash.
dash and then Misty Step.
Okay? Seamus, what do you do?
I'm through the door, right? At this point.
No.
All right. Crouch in and get like. Well, I'm sprinting at this point, but I'm.
You'll have to wait till your next turn to get inside.
Okay. So
You'll be
gonna keep
still
dashing
be on
towards
the
the
other
door.
side. Okay. Aldane, give me a strength check with disadvantage. With advantage, sorry.
Oof.
You begin to buckle a knee, and it gets to the point where Seamus is going to have to crawl under nearly.
Is Seamus the last one?
Seamus is the last one.
Of course I fucking am.
You've had Dimension Door the whole time, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
on you.
using it yet. That's just my get out of shit free card, and I only have
Not
one
using
left.
it. I never using it.
I've used it before and regretted it.
This is the Final Fantasy. I have 99 explosions by the end.
I can't use my Mega Elixir. I might need it.
It's the final boss.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dairon, you watch as Seamus is like making his way over, as by this point you actually see behind, and you see the entire pyramid is surrounded by this like bubble, this like orb, whatever it possibly could be.
Alright. I guess Rue is not coming with us, but that's whatever. Let's see. Is there a way for me to think?
So what?
Oh my god. Oh my god. What do I got? 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 I don't really have things.
You can give me another intelligence check if you want an help from the GM.
There we go.
What if you were to just force isolation into like the crack between where the door would be and the wall is? Because here's the thing. You
Yeah,
can
they
use a
are
bonus action to just make your weapon disappear into the handle.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
As you jam the door in, I want you to give me just an attack roll. Aim won't help you here. This is just a matter of doing an attack.
So 1d8 plus 5.
I mean, as in like an attack roll, sorry, to hit.
D20 plus 5.
Yeah, like just do an isolation roll.
Oh!
You try to jam it in, and it's not enough. Unfortunately. As that's, yeah, unfortunate.
I can only do so much.
And the problem is, Term even says I can't even drop haste, because that'll mean Aldane will get crushed. Turin physically can't do anything. You just watch them as they're like visibly panicking. Felix. By this point, Aldane's having to be on the other side, where you guys are, of the door. Like, he can no longer, like, hold it under his body. He's having to use his arms to, like, hold it up as much as possible.
I guess, is Aldane on our side, or is
Yeah.
he on... Okay.
Unless Jack says otherwise, I'm going to assume he's on your side.
I'm on
at-
their side.
At worst, Seamus will be outside.
You're gonna make me use fucking Dimension Door, aren't you?
You'll be able to get under. But if there's anything Felix might be able to do to secure you being inside...
How heavy is this door?
Probably very, because it's like stone, and also it's being like moved down with some sort of mechanism.
£500?
Probably.
Is it more than £500? Is the question.
Bro, don't do this to me.
I'm just asking because I have levitate.
Oh, I do too.
I don't. Am I gonna really have to Google like? Well, if I recall, a 5 foot by 5 foot block of ice is like equivalent to a car in weight.
Mm-hmm.
And a car in weight is already like over £500.
Alright, fair. I just wanted to ask the question.
I know this because I've had the idea of using shaped water to make a 5 foot by 5 foot block of ice to crush enemies under waterfalls. Yeah, slow. I'm looking at your sheet. Slow Seamus, nah.
Seamus ain't getting
Again,
it.
I'm just checking.
No half elves. Half elf, but not half elves, plural.
Only half elf singular. Got it.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything. Then.
Fair enough. So, yeah, if you don't have anything, you don't have anything, it's fine. Seamus.
I'm
Dylan.
gonna make it. I'm gonna
As you
make
find
it.
yourself crawling over, give me a dexterity check.
Just a straight dexterity check.
Yep.
Fuck. Not a dexterity save. Okay. Okay.
You narrowly find yourself able to get under as Aldane's hands begin to give out.
I
In the
imagine
door.
that I have an Indiana Jones hat. I'm sliding under. The Indiana Jones hat falls off, and I reach through and grab it just before the door closes.
As the door shuts, you are in complete and total darkness.
Hacker voice. I'm in.
It takes a moment for all of you to have your dark vision kick in, and you can barely see ahead.
Can I try
Turin,
and, like,
however, is a
light
human
my-
and can't see.
Can I try and light myself up a little bit using like the lightning through my body?
It's not enough. You would need an actual torch, which you should all have.
I do. I also have a hood and lanterns, which I turn on.
You turn on your lantern, and you all can see now, with colour. And up ahead, you begin to see the nothingness of what is awaiting you. Do you all pass through?
Yes.
I think
You-
so.
As
Well,
you all make your
I-
way through.
Before I do, I'm gonna send a sending to Torin and let him know we're inside the pyramid.
Okay.
Aldane, do you want to use the sending stone to do the same for Rua?
Yes, I will do the same.
So, what messages are you going to send? I see. Are you just going to say we're in the pyramid now?
Yes.
Then. So, Dairon, you get a message from Torrent.
I say, don't we made it in? Don't do the push. Torrent is aware.
Aldane, you don't get a response from Rua.
God damn it.
So, sendings have been sent. Do you continue on? I will say this is a 5x5. This is like not 5. This is a 1x1 corridor, so this is extremely narrow.
Well, Dan, I'll go ahead since I have the light.
Alright.
So, marching order going westward. So, like,
Aldan will be right behind Dairon.
this way across. Again.
Seamus, do you want to swap positions with Turum? So that you can be right at the
Sure.
back. I'm just, asking the question, seeing as you generally want to be at the back.
Yeah, unless we get attacked from behind, then that's a pretty bad position to be in. But you know what? We'll do it.
So true. So, as you begin to walk through Dairon, you find yourself being encased by the darkness. Just as you normally do when you enter these places. Aldane, do you go as well?
Aldan follows.
Felix?
Felix will follow.
Turim follows.
It'd be funny if Turb's like, no, I'm staying out here.
Seamus?
What?
I have to ask, do you follow the others inside?
Yeah?
So, as you are all consumed, in a way, by the memories of the Pharaoh, I'm going to call this a session.
Go.
Alright. We're inside.
We made it in.
Hacker voice. I'm in.
Well,
We're now inside the pyramid, just like I promised we would today.
thank you, Kado. Yeah, very excited and scared.
Sure you are.
I'm running low on spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is the end of the session, so it is also the end of the stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching. In terms of future stuff, Tuesday, I believe we're going to try and finish off the Himbo tier list. And Thursday will likely be some gaming thing as well. Saturday is the Summer Anime 3+ episode check-in. And next Sunday, we delve deeper into the depths of the pyramid.
We're all gonna die.
Fun fact, I was going to have it so the barrier would actually get in the way of Seamus, Aldane, and Turim, and all them getting inside the pyramid. So they would have to move around it and waste movement. But I didn't want
That's
to.
rude.
That's why I was saying, like, oh, you should be willing to use spells to get through. You might get blocked, is what I was thinking. But it's fine. You're all inside, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
And I have
Dane doesn't have a movement spell like that, bro. That would have been dick.
Again, thank you for watching. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and on Twitter at Storytime_net. And otherwise, we